Okay. So for everyone's on this call, this is not a trading call. I'm not going to go over anything about trading. For some reason, people think that when they jump on my calls, I'm always doing about trading. I'm not. Lately, I've been going over the building, so I'm just going to go over building today, right? I'm going to go over how to present the information to people. So a lot of the people on here have asked me, like, bro, how do you close everyone you talk to? How do you do this? Like, what did you do? Like, let me tell you how I first started, right? When I first started in IML, I hope you guys know, yeah, I had Sarah, yeah, I had Jasmine, but I never once had, I think if anything, they took like maybe two calls from me. Like everybody else that I brought on myself. I closed everyone myself. I built up my team myself. Like I did everything on my own. I didn't have anyone's help. You know, a lot of people will say, well, bro, like, how did you do it? Do you use the IML PowerPoint? I don't, you know. So if you're under Sarah and you're on here, and she's been telling you about the PowerPoint, I don't use that. I never once used it. I don't know how. So I'm not going to go over that, right? I'm going to go over how I present and how I close people. So, um, I guess like a little background as to why I present as I do. Guys, the reason why I present why I do is because like I feel like the IMO presentation, don't get me wrong, it's great, but I feel like it's just too salesy. Like me personally, that's how I think about it. If I'm going to come into a presentation, what do I want to hear? What would I like to hear? And the minute I start hearing about a company and their services and when they were created and the CEOs and all that, I feel like I'm being sold something. Like, okay, what? Get to the point. What are you trying to sell me? You know what I mean? That's why I, in a little bit, like I did a little bit differently. What I do is I rather sell people on the concept of forex, right? If people can understand how much money they can make in the forex market, the fact that you can flip $100 to 200K in a year, IMO will sell itself. A good product does not need to be sold; it will sell itself, right? I've been working in sales for 2 years. That's how you do it, you know? So literally what I do is I get people to understand and conceptualize, look, if I could make this much money doing Forex, how do I learn how to do that? Awesome. That's what I do. That's what that's how I get people sold each and every time. So I'm going to actually present to you guys as if I'm like you guys are my prospects, okay? So if you have any questions along the way, just stop me or whatever and just ask me, hey Jesse, why do you say that or how this or how that, right? So I'm gonna just kind of make it simple. What I do literally is I just dumb down the presentation. I'm not gonna go over pips and like explain like everything about it. That's what the academy's for. You know, what I do is I make it seem so simple. So pretty simple, guys. If I'm going to go over Forex, the first thing that you guys need to do whenever you start presenting is you need to share your story, right? So, for example, if I'm going to start presenting, I'm going to be like, hey guys, every time I open up, same thing. Hey guys, my name's Jesse. I'm 20 years old, right? I've actually been involved in the Forex market since what, March, going on 4 months now, right? And let me tell you a little bit about myself. When I did this for that first month, I was working full time. I was going to school full time. I was really busy, you know? But what happened when I applied myself to this, when I really tried to absorb all the information that was given to me, I ran with it. And what happened? Within my first month, I was able to drop out of school and I was able to quit my job. And this is all I've been doing since April. True story, you know? So share your story, share your guys' story. What happened with you, how you feel, like where you get your enthusiasm from. Share your story, stories sell, facts tell, stories sell, right? So always share your story whenever you open up with somebody. Second thing I do is I explain what Forex is, right? So explain what Forex is, guys. What is Forex? Well, explain that. Example, when you travel, you convert your currencies, right? Let's say we were to go to a different country. I always ask people, have you ever gone to a different country before? Every op call, every time. Well, yeah, bro, I've gone to Mexico. Or, hey, yeah, bro, I've gone to Europe. Or I've gone to wherever. Cool. Afterwards, all the times I'm like, all right, guys, you're already doing Forex then. You know, it's something that you already do. If you travel and go to a different country and you switch your currencies, you're doing Forex. That's what we're doing, except the only difference is we do it from our phone, you know? So explain what it is. I also let them know, like, banks, right? If you have a bank account, you do Forex. Why? Because your banks get your money and all of our money, and they trade in the Forex market. They understand that now. Now it's not like, what are you trying to sell me? It's, oh shit, I'm already involved in this. How do I go ahead and learn how to do this on my own? You know? That's why I explain what it is first. Now, with me, it's up to however you guys want to do it. I like to have my op calls really short because I have so many all the time, every day. So what I do is I just tell people, hey, look, I'm going to show you on how I make my money. So I only go over three top currencies. The three top that like I would like the three top that I trade, you know? Example, I only go over the US dollar, the British pound, and the euro. I only go over those three. Like I only go over those three, and this is the reason why, right? These are the top three currencies I trade, guys, and the reason for that is because the most money in the whole world is held within these economies, right?
Listening. Listening. You want to call? I'm just listening.
Give me 1 second, guys. I'm just gonna mute everyone real quick. Okay, so yeah, so what I'll do is I'll go over the three top currencies that I personally trade, and from there, what I do is I explain that these are based off of what? The economy, right? These are the top three economies in the whole world: the US economy, the European economy, and the British market. Those are the top three economies in the whole world. True story. The majority of the money in the whole world is held within these three economies, which is a true story. That's why you get a lot of money off the pound, the euro, the US dollar. They have a low spread. You can make a lot of money, right? Because of how much it fluctuates, because of how much money is held within them. So I tell people that, right? What I tell them is in Forex, you need to know two things: what currencies to invest in and the times, right? So I will tell them, like, these are the currencies I want to trade in. This is why, which is because of the economy, right? After that, I'll explain a buy and a sell, right? So example, what I'll do is I'll just like name down the top three currencies, right? 1 through 3. So here, let me move this over. What it would look like if I was presenting, I would do something like this. Three top currencies, literally. And I would number them. I put US dollar, euro, the British pound, right? So what I'll tell them is I'm like, hey guys, after this, there's two ways you can make money in the Forex market. The first way is off of a buy. The second way is off of a sell. That's it, right? Give them an example. Show them what that means. Let's say we're talking about the pound to US dollar. Let me use caps. Pound US dollar and pound US dollar, right? I used euro before. It's the same thing, whichever ones you guys like to trade. But let's say I'm using the pound, right? Explain that. What does that mean? In a buy, what we're doing is the pound is increasing in value, right? And what's happening with the US dollar? It's decreasing. I'll let them know what that means. Then now you're providing value at this point. You're making it realistic to them. You're explaining what this means. So now they feel a little bit more comfortable. Like, oh, okay, now this person actually cares about my well-being, about knowing about this. Cool. Okay, what's next? Well, I show them like, hey, if we're looking at a chart, let's say this is my chart right here, where this line is at. All you want to look for is what? Green up, right? What's happening in a buy, guys? If we're looking at a chart and we want to pick like the perfect spot for a buy, when we'd want to enter, we'd want to enter down here, right? Just explain that to them. It's really like they don't know this kind of stuff. But something as small as that, when you can make people think like they understand trading now, they're gonna think it's so easy. Like how many times have I had a training on something simple and everyone thinks like they're experts now? You know what I mean? Or how many times have you watched a video on the academy and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be the expert now. I am so good, blah, blah, blah. Why? Because you just feel a little bit more confident, you know, make them feel confident about this and explain the time. Explain times or explain sessions, right? So what do I mean by that? Okay. What do I mean by that? London session, right? What do I mean by London session? We're going to explain that. So London session is what time? Just make it applicable to your guys' time. 12 a.m. to 4 a.m., right? PST. I explained that. What's happening out there in London from 12 to 4. They're people, like the people are waking up. People are going to work. We have like bankers going to work, private investors, government entities, hedge funders. What are they doing? Investing billions of dollars into what? The pound. That's why it's called the London session, because of the pound, right? That goes up in value. Great Britain, right? It's out there in England. So the pound will go up. What happens to the dollar? Shoots down because nobody here in the US is trading. Explain that to them. That's usually what happens London session. Not every time, but it does the majority of the times. You know, a good London session. So explain that. Make them understand like this is what happens. What happens in a sell? We already know this, right? I'm just gonna zoom through this. Pound goes down, dollar goes up. All right, cool. What does it look like on the graph? All right, if we're looking at the graph, you just get this is your graph right here. On a sell, what are you looking for? red down. Why? Because the pound is going down in value. Pretty simple. Now, what is the time zone for that? We call that the New York stock session, right? If we already trade this, we should know this, by the way. Like, this was like covered on like your first couple basics, so I need to know this too if you want to learn how to trade really well. Because when you trade these sessions, these are the most fluctuation in the market either way. So New York stock session, what happens? Anywhere from 5 a.m., this is almost always actually, to 9 a.m., the US dollar will almost always shoot back up. Always. Like, I've never really seen like a bad like stock session where it doesn't. So pretty simple, right? Out here, New York stock session, the US dollar goes up in value because of how many people are investing money into the US dollar, right, in the market. But out there in London, what's happening, or Great Britain, people are already clocking out. They already invested their money for the day. They're done. They're already tired, so they stop investing. That's why the pound will go down. The dollar will shoot back up. You know what I mean? So explain that. It's just literally that simple. That's all I want to explain for the first part. So I explained this at first. I'm like, did this make sense? Yes, it did. Cool. All right. Next, pips. Every single time I just explain pips is a unit of measurement, right? Unit of measurement. Use an example. Example, inches measure feet. Pips measure price fluctuation, right? So what I do is I explain pips. Like, that's, you guys, I remember when I was first taught about pips, the way that like Sarah and Jasmine explained it was like so complicating. I'm so sorry. They just really confused me. Hey, it's the amount of fluctuation that happens between the currency rate of blah, blah. I did not understand shit. Like, I was brand new and I was like, what? What does that mean? Like, I don't even know what that means. So I make it as simple as possible. Literally, what I'll do is I'll just say, hey, look, let's say we're looking at GBP USD. This simple, guys. Don't overcomplicate it. Let's say price is at this line down here, and I don't know, London session shoots up to here, and I'll just draw a little graph, and I'll ask them, I'll just do a quick little quiz, like, hey guys, if we think price is going to go up, is that a buy or a sell? Almost always they'll get it right. Oh, it's a buy, right? Yes, I know you're paying attention now. So give them an example. Use these numbers. These are realistic numbers too. Let's say price is at 1.3200, right? And let's say it shoots up to 1.3300. What I tell people to understand pips is you just look at the first four numbers to the right of the decimal. Let me write that on there. Look at first four numbers to the right of the decimal place. Cool. So draw a little line to have them understand and see that. We look at the 3,300. We look at the 3,200. How do you calculate pips? Pretty simple. I'll just do the math up there. 3,300 minus 3,200 is how much? 100, right? 100 what? $100? 100 pennies? No, 100 pips. That's literally the only way I explain pips. That's all I do each and every time. Every time it makes sense to them, I'm like, look, you just look at the first four to the right of the decimal, you calculate the two, you subtract them, and that's literally how you get your pips. Explain how like pips is just how we make money, right? Because everyone knows this. You need to catch pips to make money, right? I don't think anyone on this call knows that you don't, like, you need to catch pips to make money. Like, everyone should. So pretty simple. That's all I go over. Now what I'll do next is I recap, right? Recap and explain how to place a trade. Pretty simple. I just do one. What currencies are we trading, right? Are we trading the pound? Are we trading the euro, the yen, the what? Okay. Are we going to buy it? Do we think price is going to go up in value? Or are we selling it? Do you think price is going to go down, right? And lastly, what I tell them is we need to go over lot sizes because we need to know what we're making, right? So guys, we should know how to explain lot sizes. It's pretty simple. I don't really need to like explain this, but explain lot sizes, pretty simple. Just let them know, hey, if you see a 0.01, and just know that that's 10 cents, right, per pip. So let's say you were to catch 100 pips times 10 cents. How much is that? 10 bucks, right? Well, once you're a little bit more intermediate, what are we going to do? We're going to increase a little bit more. Let's say you see a 0.10. Cool. That's $1 a pip. You're catching your same 100 pips, nothing changed, times what? $1. How much is that? 100 bucks. You always want to make yourself seem really, really good. Make this seem like your level. Like if you guys are getting really, really good with trading, what you want to do is just tell them where you're at. Like, hey, I'm actually comfortable trading with the $1 per pip. I'm actually comfortable. I'm barely new, but I'm starting off with 10 cents a pip, you know? What I tell people is I'm like, once you get on my level, I don't mess around. I trade with the 1.00. If you see that, just know that that's $10 a pip, right? So let's say we're catching 100 pips still, times what? $10 a pip. Boom. You just would have made what? $1,000. I'll let them know. Like, how many pips did you guys catch that day? Let them know. I caught 80 pips today. So times 1.00. Guys, surprisingly, I made $800 today doing nothing. You know, let them know. It's just that simple. You know, that's why I tell them like you need to know how to like. That's why I told you everything I did earlier. So that way, all of this now makes sense, right? So now people are understanding. Okay, that's how I can make money with trading. That's how I make money with my buys and sells. All of this is making sense to them. It's clicking. Now they feel like, okay, I feel like I could do that, you know? This is where people get sold. By the way, if you guys need to, I already like saved these pictures, so you could just ask me for them and I'll send them to you too. But I'm recording this too, so if you guys need the recording later, hit me up. But yeah, after this, am I good to go? Did everyone write that down? We're good? Good? Yeah? Cool. All right, cool. All right, next. What do I go over? The 5% method. This is what sells people all the time, guys. I think this is like my biggest thing. The 5%. Literally just tell them this. I write this on everything. 5%, if you can get 5% profit, watch. If you can get 5% profit every day for 1 year, let's say you were to invest $100, right? Well, what happens, guys? It'll end up growing to over what? I think we all know this. $204,800. Pretty simple. And explain how banks are only open 5 days a week. So what I mean by that is like, I don't like have them understand that it's even easier than every single day for 1 year. It's not 7 days a week, it's actually 5. So if he thought it was hard doing 7, no, it's actually easier, right? So do the math with them. Month 1, $100. How does it work? Well, we want $5, right? Times what? 5 days a week. So week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. We're catching $25 this week, 20, not 52, 25, 25, and 25, right? Explain that. I explained pretty well to them, right? Going into your second month, how much is that? $200, right? 5% of $200 is what? $10, right? Times how many days a week? 5 days a week. So week 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4, we're making $50, $50, $50, and $50, right? So going into our third month, how much do we have? $400, right? This is what I really want them to understand. I don't do every single month. I don't have time for that. So what I'll do after this is I'll just draw a line and I'll just say, hey, do you notice how from month 1 to month 2, we pretty much doubled our account? And from month 2 to month 3, we doubled it again? Cool. I get them to understand that and see that. Every month you're doubling your account. That's what I pretty much tell them. You're pretty much doubling account every single month. So after this, just do the rest of the month with that, or the rest of the year. I don't do like all of the math right. I just do month 4, 800, month 5, 1600, month 6, 3200. Just do them all. Month 7, what is that? 6400. Month 8, 12,800. Month 9, 25,600. Month 10, 51,000. And guys, you'll get better at this as you keep doing it. 51,200. Month 11, 102,400. And month 12, you're whopping $204,800, right? Get them to understand that we didn't do anything differently. We just got what? 5%. This is why I taught them everything earlier. This is why it don't make sense right now. We are not doing anything differently. catching the same pips, just, I'll move it up a little bit, just what? Higher lot sizes, right? That's all we're doing realistically. We're not doing anything differently, guys. It's not like we're catching way more pips or whatever. Essentially what we're doing is what? We're catching the same amount of pips, whether it was 100, whether it was 50, 1,000, however many. You're just what? Increasing your lot size. So literally everything you taught them is making sense. It's clicking in their head. They're like, holy crap, I can make that much money just off of these pips and those lot sizes. That's how you do that? Yep, that's how you do it. Cool. Do you see how now, like, they're already sold? They're like, I'm already sold onto Forex. Like, they want to do this now. I just get them to understand. And I'll straight up tell them, I'm like, honestly, if you have a job out there that will make you more than $200,000, by all means, don't do this, you know? Because you're already set. You're already living life. But if you're not going to have a job that's going to give you more than $200,000 in 1 year, I don't get how people would do this. And I tell them that each and every time because, in all honesty, it doesn't make any sense to me. But still, did this make sense? Good, cool, moving on. That's what I do. So after this, what do I explain? This is where we get into selling them onto IML. Cool. I tell them verbatim, if you are not going through an academy, I don't know what to tell you. Straight up. Only because me personally, I don't know about you guys. I don't know if you guys have ever done Forex before this, but when I started doing Forex, me personally, I've never heard of it and I've never gone through anywhere. So if people are asking me for advice, well, bro, where do I learn how to do this from, online or YouTube? I don't know. I've never learned through that. I've only learned through an academy. So what I'll tell them is I'm like, hey, these are the top academies out there. And there's hundreds of them, by the way. There's hundreds of academies out there, thousands that you could pick. But I only go over 3 of them. And guys, the only reason why I go through different courses is because, look, sometimes 217 to people is like a lot of money, right? A lot of money. I don't know why. I mean, a lot of people don't have 217 in their bank account, which kind of like scares me. So I'm like, wait, hold on. You're saying you don't have 217. What happens if like your car were to break down and you needed 217 to fix it? You would have to wait 2 weeks until you get paid. Believe it or not, that's how people are. But for those that do actually have the money and they're just kind of like hiding that, this is how you get them to like actually want to sign for IML. Explain to competitors and how expensive they are. Like, seriously, like that's how I used to do working in sales. When I worked at Sprint, when I worked at Spectrum, like the internet company, the easiest way I could tear down other companies is by pointing out how expensive they are. I always worked for the companies that were like cheaper, you know what I mean? So it's like the easiest way is, hey, do you want to pay 500,000? Like, or I don't know, not that much. So I'm not gonna over exaggerate, but let's say like I was working for Sprint, right? Do you really want to pay a $300 phone bill with Verizon for one freaking phone when you could get 5 for 100? It makes sense, you know what I mean? So that's why I use the same logic here, straight up. So what I explain is the following courses: Astro FX. This is a course, right? It is a good course, but it is for advanced people or advanced traders. Which my friend did get this last year, and the only reason why I would say it's for advanced people is because if it was for beginners, there was no reason why from August of last year till April this year, before he signed up for IML, he lost $6,000 and never made a penny. That's why I wouldn't recommend it, to be honest. Like, it's $2,000, guys. You tell somebody that course is $2,000, they're not going to want to buy it, which is good. We don't want them to, you know? A lot of people think that you need to pay a lot of money for Forex anyway. So if you let them know, look, these are the competitors' prices and how much they are, plus it's only for advanced people, it'll scare them. Q Banks. He is a trader. Really good trader. Use the example how he flipped $1,000 to $74,000 in 1 week, which is true, guys. He did. He's really good, actually. But his course is for advanced traders also, right? Which is why his course, okay, well, his actual academy is like $800, but if you want like some in-live person training, $1,700. It's a lot of money. I personally wouldn't want to pay that either. And I tell them that I'm like, when I was new, I was broke, I didn't have that kind of money. So of course that wasn't even an option for me. Cool. Sorry, I'm just fixing this up. I'm a perfectionist. I want everything to be like perfect for some reason. Cool. And lastly, what I explained is IML, right? This is the route we went. Teaches you from basics to advanced ASAP. Explain how whole, I don't think I've remembered to, hold on. Let me move this up. I don't know, training is on basics 1. Literally. Guys, we should have already, like, anyone that has gone through basics 1 should know that like everything that I just went over was on basics 1, literally. Or like the basics 1 through 4, and for the most part, who participates in the market, the times, pips, lot sizes, all of that are in like the first couple basics. I think we've all gone through them. And then I explained that IML is only 217. At this point, you're not selling them on anything. What you're doing is you're just saying, hey, these are options, you pick. You know what I mean? Now, you already sold them onto Forex at that point. They're already like, I want to do this. So tap into it a little bit more. Sell IML a little bit more, because we're not going to be here and be like, we just did all of this to teach you stuff for free. No. I go into sales mode after this. Oh, hold on. I got some questions in the chat I haven't been noticing. Oh, sorry, Lucas. I took a picture of all of them. So if you're on here, yeah, I'll send them to you. I have all of them all the way, by the way. But cool. Alrighty. What I go over is I tell them, look, IML, the reason why I chose IML are the following 4 reasons. 2, 3, and 4. Every time I go over the same ones. You guys are going to have to share your own story for this, but I always just go with my stories, videos, right? Tell them about your history, or like your, I guess, your experience with the videos. How have the videos helped you? How have the videos helped you? For me personally, what I say is I'm like, oh, hey, the videos helped me because in my first month, I was working full time, going to school full time, and I made a lot of excuses. So I only went through after the videos. That's why I half-assed it, which is why I was making 50 to 100 bucks profit a day. Oh, well, that's good. It is good, but I don't want to be satisfied with 50, 100 bucks a day. That's nothing. You know, Forex trades $5.3 trillion. I want trillions of dollars every day. I don't want 100 bucks or 50 bucks. That's dumb. So no, my second month, I finished the second out of the academy in one night, and my profits grew 500 to 1,000 a day. Cool. Today I made 800. I'm not lying, you know? I can make that kind of money. It's just you watch the videos, you make more money. That's how you get, guys, this is how you get somebody that's brand new to want to run and learn how to trade really well and fast. Because if you're telling them with your experience with the videos, you started making money. I'm only telling you this because this is what happened to me. When I was new, I got a lot of people enrolled, and I didn't have this platform, by the way, or I didn't like close people like I did now. Excuse me, sorry. So what happened? I was literally just getting a bunch of people on. I was like, I'll teach you how to trade. I'll teach you how to trade. I'll teach you how to trade. That's why a lot of the people that I had at first honestly didn't really stick around as much. I just have a lot of people that were with me from the first day, but a lot of people didn't really stay around as much. Why? Because they felt that their success in trading was based off of whenever I had a training, whenever I would go meet up with them and teach them how to trade. Nobody was independent. So you want to get people to become as independent as possible with trading. I'm only telling you this because when you guys have over 80, 90 people in your group chats, the last thing you want to do is have to meet up with every single person and have to teach like everyone everything. Literally, I was teaching basics 1 through 4 about 5 times a day when I was new, like for a good 2 months. That drove me nuts. I wasn't going to do that anymore. It's like, dude, just watch the videos. Stop asking me. Jump on the trainings. Like, if not, then I don't care if you don't want to learn how to do this. You go do it on your own. And if not, then honestly, excuse my language, but fuck off. I'm not going to be here to like babysit everyone. I'm not going to do that. So I explain how the videos help me. Trust me, it's going to get them off of your shoulders. It's going to make them become independent. Second reason that I explained about IML, why I liked it, was the IML TV. Guys, leverage this the most. Leverage the most. What I mean? Example, over 60 educators get paid 6 figures to give us trades and teach us, right? Which is true. Guys, when you guys honestly, and this is just a good note, if you want to be a good trader, if you're not going through IML TV, I don't know what to tell you. These people make 10 times more than me. When somebody tells me they rather pick my training over an IML educator's training, that makes no logical sense to me. Like, I'm making $800 in one day. They're making about 8,000. You know what I mean? What makes more sense? When people are saying, oh, I want to jump on Magnus's training or a charting session, like yesterday, but they don't want to jump on Christopher Terry's. Mind you, Christopher Terry's making millions of dollars, like monthly, like yearly, like annually. Like, he's making a lot of money, millions, you know? No offense to Magnus. I bet he could trade really well, but I'd rather pick the guy that's making millions of dollars than the guy that's making, you know, a couple like 100,000s, you know, hundreds or thousands. I mean, not 100,000s, but hundreds or 1,000 of dollars. You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense to me. So leverage IML TV and tell them this is how you become successful. They give you trades. Guys, I was on a Dr. K's training, like, or IML TV, like last week. I made $300. I tell people that story every time, because about every time that I jump on, I'm at least making $300 jumping on Dr. K's IML TV session. So I leverage that, you know. If you're making good money off of these trainings, leverage that and have them become independent and watch from there. It gets them off your shoulders. They don't feel like you're responsible to make them successful traders. They're going to be more independent. They're going to do things on their own, right? Another thing that I explain is that IML sends us trades, right? How do they send us trades? Harmonic scanner, web analyzer, swipe trades, Telegram. Explain that. Explain how literally, if you guys were to see how many trades we get a day, me personally, I don't understand how anyone on my team says I don't make money off of this. How? You have that harmonic scanner. I doubled my account in 2 days from that. I believe Jackie's on here too. Jackie like doubled her account off of Kareem's Telegram in like what, like 2 days, 3 days. I remember that. She had $100, doubled it in like 2-3 days off of Kareem's group chat, you know? The harmonic scanner, the telegrams, the swipe trades, the analyzer, these are golden, guys. I don't know, we're sleeping on these, real talk. But on a side note, yeah, we're sleeping on it. But you leverage that. Leverage the fact that they're sending us trades. That's how you get your 5% in the day. You ask me how you make your 5% in the day, this is how you do it. And lastly, what you explain is the team culture. This is how you get somebody building. By the way, guys, I think the call might end. So if it does end, I'll send another link. It's not going to be the same one. I'll send another one. But lastly, what I explained about the team is that I get paid to teach. You get paid, right? So literally, I get paid to teach, right? So now that I'm getting paid from IML, I always use this example. Wouldn't you want to get paid to teach people stuff you are already going to learn? Yes or yes? Well, yes, duh. Awesome. That's how you get somebody that wants to come in as a trader now into a builder. This is where you convert them from wanting just to get the services of the trader to become a full-on builder now. Actually, what I'm doing, guys, I'm going to explain this once I create another Zoom link because it's going to end in like less than a minute. So I'm going to send another link out. Jump on if you guys want to see how I finish closing and then how to get them running. Okay? Sound good?